Daniel, he wanted to know what was going on. So he asked the question, even though he was told it was sealed. He said, how long will it be before these astonishing things are fulfilled? What are the astonishing things he's asking about? We'll go back and start reading in verse 1. It says there will be a time of distress, great tribulation, and leading up to a time when the saints will be delivered, those that are alive and those that are asleep. So what is the question? How long will it be before these astonishing things are fulfilled? From the beginning of the time of distress until the time of deliverance. How long? And you know what? For eons, people would read this and we didn't get it. We didn't see the answer was right there. Because 2 verses down, it says, it will be for a time, times, and half a time. When the power of God's people has been finally broken, we've been defeated after 42 months, all these things will be completed. You know, that's plain speak. That's plain speak. If you don't get it, you need to read it again. He's asking, how long will it be before these astonishing things are fulfilled? The subject was time of distress up to a time of deliverance. And he says it will be for 42 months. Well, then, Daniel asked another question. It's like, God, I didn't quite get it. Let me ask you another question. I mean, he's fishing for answers here. Because listen to this. He says, I heard, but I did not understand. So I asked, my Lord, what will the outcome of all this be? Now, you know, I checked a couple other translations, and one of the translations says, what will be the end of all these things? Mm-hmm. And his answer was, he replied, go your way, Daniel, because the words are sealed. But then you look down 2 more verses, and the answer is there. Because it says, from the time that the daily sacrifice is abolished, we saw that in Daniel 9:27, that a covenant would be made at the end of 3.5 years, that he would cancel the covenant, and he would desecrate the temple. So it says, from the time that the daily sacrifice is abolished, and the abomination that causes desolation is set up, this is 3.5 years into the tribulation based on Daniel 9:27. That's right. It says, there will be 1,290 days. You add that up, that's just barely short of 3.5 years. Well, now, I want to tie this now to Matthew 24. Because what I want to read to you is Daniel 12, verse 1 or 2. It's actually the second part of verse 1. Listen to this. There will be a time of distress such as not happened from the beginning of nations until then. Shall not happen until from the beginning of nations until this time. And then what is this time it's talking about? The time when those that will awake from sleep and those that are alive will be delivered. So Daniel is saying there will be a time of distress such as not happened from the beginning of nations. Now let's go to Matthew.
That's right.
Because what are we seeing in Matthew? Number one, Jim just already covered this, but his disciples were asking him, tell us, what will be happen? What will be the sign of your coming in the end of the age? And he goes over and he says wars and famines and earthquakes. Literally, he's going down through the seals of Revelation and the times at which we're in right now. And then listen to this. It says, so when you see standing in the holy place the abomination that causes desolation, spoken of, listen to this, spoken of through the prophet Daniel.
That's right.
We just covered this in Daniel.
That's right.
And he's saying, you're going to see this. And now look, I'm going to skip down to verse 21. Listen to this. For then there will be great distress, unequaled from the beginning of the world until now, never to be equaled again. This time of distress that Daniel 12 is talking about, literally leading into the deliverance of the saints, is being repeated right here in Matthew 24.
And Jesus hasn't come back yet.
Exactly.
This is the thing that you've got to understand and know the timing. This is like Daniel. He's referring to Daniel as Matthew 24:15.
Yes, both
and
of
Jesus doesn't come back till verse 30.
Yes,